I have zero shame in admitting that, not unlike most of Generation Y, I adore the Disney movies. If that makes me a man-child, then so be it. Some of my favourite movies were produced by Disney, and I'm not counting anything affiliated with Marvel or Pixar here. Disney have given us some spectacular movies, and as such, some fantastic characters, and some fantastic villains.
No. Disney gave us one bad guy, one arch-villain, that no one really remembers. This villain lives in the back of our heads, but how many times people pondered the most evil Disney villains, and no one thought to mention this one, which is, in and of itself, quite a feat, as Disney gave us super powerful wizards and witches, mad scientists, hateful princes and noblemen, even the gods themselves. But of them all, there isn't a single Disney baddie that can compete with this world tyrant. First of all, let's set the parameters of the justification of the most evil of Disney villains. We do that by taking the most iconic villains produced and showing that, at least to some extent, these bad guys are redeemable, relatable, sympathetic. No matter how evil their actions, there is a human element to what they do, even when they aren't human. The mystery villain has none of that. The mystery villain is utterly unforgivable and unjustified. Let's throw up some of the more iconic examples, so you can see what I mean. I think we'll start with the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Judge Frollo, the big bad guy, was a sexually repressed, xenophobic holy man in an age of oppression and bigotry, a man of his time, affected by his own neuroses. One of my favourites, Disney's rendition of Robin Hood, the one with all the animals. Obviously. Prince John was a petulant man-child, or man-lion I suppose, given power at an age that he couldn't cope, misled by scheming yes-men. One of the more recent Disney films, again a fast favourite for myself, Wreck-It Ralph. Everyone loves Wreck-It Ralph. Turbo, of the excellent Wreck-It Ralph, lived a life of success and glory from day one, and that was taken from him, not by a better racer. He was simply replaced, and acted out as anybody would in that situation. I've got to sneakily drop in The Lion King here as one of Disney's all-time favourites, and the fact it has a Broadway show. Scar lived a life of constant overshadowing, where his life was predestined from day one to always be the younger brother to the proud and regal Mufasa. And the best example, really, as she even has her own film right now, Maleficent of Sleeping Beauty, who did what she did out of vengeance and spite. You yourself might not have acted in that way, in the circumstances, but you can definitely see why she was a little bit angry. Now, bear in mind all of our examples. All of them seem to have some sort of gripe or major beef with one or other of the good guys in the film, and you might not have acted the same way in their own circumstances, but you can see why they did, and for that we give them the vaguest bit of humanity. Now we come to our mystery villain. Our mystery arc villain is different. Our mystery arc villain wasn't bitter or beaten down. She was successful and powerful. She wasn't afflicted or had to suffer fools. You can't say power went to her head, because her great evil act was such that no amount of corruption could justify the act. What act was that, you say? This villain planned and fully intended on slaughtering and skinning over 100 tiny baby puppies and wearing a coat made of their skin and remains. Say that one out loud with me. In your heads, do you not think that's the most evil act imaginable? It was not to save humanity, not to open some mystical magamuffin, not to deal with any scenario whatsoever. She just wanted to wear the skin of 101 Dalmatians. To conclude, Cruella de Vil is the most evil monster Disney spewed out. They threw gods and angels, kings and warlocks, but they all pale in comparison to Cruella de Vil and her malice and psychotic notioning of killing tiny dogs. This has been, of course, my opinion, not his, and I hope to see you all again soon.